Greetings, everyone. This is Tari here with Yoga for Cancer. Welcome to my home studio. And I also want to welcome Sheila, who is in her studio in New York City. And we are going to be doing a class here in our separate studios that I'm calling Stable and Strong. This is what we want for our immune system under all circumstances as a cancer patient or survivor, and under all circumstances as a human being. We want to keep our immune system stable and strong. How do we do that? How does yoga do that? Research shows that yoga does do that. And first, I want to say that the immune system does a pretty darn good job all by itself of keeping our immune system defending us against diseases, disease-causing organisms like bacteria, viruses, and mutant cells that cause cancer. So I don't want to talk about boosting what is already a really good system in place. I want to look at ways in which yoga supports what is already a good thing. Okay, so let's start. Let's start with the breath. Because it is for sure that if we have a quiet, calm breath, we are going to have a quiet, calm nervous system. And actually, the nervous system is the first responder to the immune system. So sit up nice and tall. As you can see, I am sitting on blankets, folded blankets, and I'm using my paper towels to prop up my thighs. So I'm feeling stable and comfortable. And that's the first step. From there, we want to focus on our breath. Now, how do we calm the nervous system? Well, that's lassoing in our active mind, all the little monkeys in our mind. The mind goes in multiple dimensions. It's as soon as you get a thought, it might get attracted to another. And certainly when we are in quarantine, we kind of understand more how that happens. But surprisingly, or maybe not so surprising, the breath only goes in 2 dimensions. So this complex mind can easily be trained, and I want to focus on that word, trained, by the breath. So sitting up nice and tall, place one hand on your belly and the other hand on top of it. So the breath moves in 2 directions. It moves in and it moves out. Now, when the breath moves in, it is going into our lungs, not into our belly, even though you might feel that belly slightly in your hands. When it moves out, the second direction, the belly comes inward. So instead of doing belly breathing, put your hands up here on your rib cage. And when you breathe in, let those ribs expand and see how the chest doesn't slightly rise also. And when you breathe out, feel those ribs contract inward. So it's out on the in-breath and in on the out-breath. So the breath moves in 2 directions. How do we calm the mind with the breath? Well, I'm going to ask you now to place your hands on your thighs, close your eyes. And for just a few moments, we'll take a little mini meditation. Each time breathing in, say, I'm breathing in. Each time you breathe out, I am breathing out. So sit and do that for yourself. Eyes closed, spine long. It doesn't take long to feel that sense of a quieted mind. So now we've used two of the immune system systems. We've used the nervous system to calm, and we've used the respiratory system. The respiratory system is very important, our immune system. And now we're going to open our eyes, sit up nice and tall again, but maybe cross your legs the opposite way. And we're going to warm up the spine, which is the highway, to all of the other systems that are in our body that make up the immune system. The immune system is very complex, and it involves all of the respiratory, digestive, cardiovascular, lymph, all these systems coming together. Let's start with warming up the spine by taking both arms up towards the ceiling as you do that inhale. And as you exhale, bring the left hand down onto your right thigh. We're going to inhale here. And on the exhale, side bending over to the left. Inhaling back to center. The exhale brings us into a twist to the right. Inhale back to center with that elongated arm and spine. And as you exhale, bring that right arm to the left thigh. Use an in-breath to bring the left arm up towards the ceiling, and an out-breath to take you to a side bend to the right. Inhaling, coming to center, and the out-breath brings you into a twist. The inhale brings that arm up, and exhale down onto the opposite thigh. Now, inhale, both arms straight up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, both hands onto your knees. So we're going to move the spine in two more directions. On an inhale, lift the chest and look forward, keeping the neck nice and long on both sides. Exhale, rounding the spine, not folding, not bending, but rounding the spine. Now let's do all of that one more time on each side. The inhale brings you up, elongating. And the exhale, left to right. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, side bending left. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale, you elongate. And the exhale slowly brings that right hand down. Sweeping the left arm up as you inhale. And as you exhale, side bending over to the right. Inhale to center. And exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale, both arms straight up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bring both hands onto your knees. Inhale, dive that heart forward, looking forward. And as you exhale, rounding the spine just slightly. Inhale, come back to center. And I want everyone to elongate their legs now, stretch them out in front of you. And this is where you're going to see Sheila now on a side angle. And from here, we are going to begin to address not just the respiratory system, but the lymphatic system, which is a really important part of the immune system, and make it stronger, support it in being strong. So you can see Sheila's sitting up nice and straight. She's pressing her palms into the wherever she is seated and lifting her heart up. And in this position, you can see, Sheila, would you take your hand and thump on your breastbone? Just thump your breastbone. There you go. There. Now, that breastbone has a very important other immune system underneath it. It's called the thymus gland, which is part of the endocrine system. And she's tapping that, she's stimulating that, and then she's going to bring her hands into prayer. And as she inhales, her prayer hands are going to go straight up towards the ceiling, missing her nose. So she didn't run into her nose. She's going to exhale and bring it back down to her chest. And now Sheila, let your head drop forward so your nose is in front of your heart. And what would happen here if you brought your hands up towards the ceiling? It would run right into your nose, wouldn't it? Okay, good. So what we're going to do now is place our hands on our side, on our thighs instead of on the side, and practice elongating the spine, keeping that heart where you were tapping it, tapping the thymus gland in front of the nose. So from the hands on the thighs, pressing down, inhale, and as you exhale, slide your hands forward as far as they will go until that nose wants to go in front of the heart, but you won't let it. You're going to back up a bit. Good. Inhale, slide the hands up to your hip creases. Exhale again and dive forward, heart in front of nose. Inhale, slide the hands up to the hip creases. And exhale, diving forward. Now what we're doing here is we're really giving our lymph system a massage, both with our breath and with our hands on our thighs. The lymph system in our lower torso is quite extensive. Each time she inhales, she comes up. Each time she exhales, she goes forward with the heart in front of the nose. And then slide the hands all the way up to the hip creases. And here we're going to also slide our blocks up from underneath us, maybe finding a blanket if you will need it, because we're going onto our hands and knees, and putting that blanket underneath the place where your knees would be, so we can do cat and cow. So Sheila is going to be with her knees right underneath her hips and her wrists. Look how nicely her wrists are right underneath her shoulders. Here again, we're going to begin to do bigger movements, which moves all sorts of other parts of the immune system. As she inhales, she lifts her tailbone up and lets that heart reach forward. As she exhales, she arches the spine into a cat pose, letting the navel reach up towards the ceiling. Inhaling again, lifting the tailbone and looking forward, seeing out, you can't see her neck because of her ponytail, but it's not going up towards the ceiling. Good. Exhale and round the spine. Look at her beautiful rounded spine. And one more like that, Sheila. Inhale, lifting the hips. Exhale, rounding the spine. Now, come to a neutral spine. The crown of the head is going forward, the heart's going forward, and the tailbone is going behind you. On an in-breath, take your right leg back behind you, leaving the toes on the floor. As you exhale, bring the right knee to the floor next to the left. We'll do it on the left side now. On an inhale, bring the left leg back behind you, reaching through the left heel. Now keep that left leg where it is. What we're going to do is work on creating strength and stability in our legs before we move on to more ambitious pose. On an inhale, Sheila, slightly bend that left knee. On an exhale, reach through the left heel and stretch that left leg strong. Inhale, bend the left knee again, not to the floor, but just a little bend. And as you exhale, feel a lengthening through the left heel and the crown of your head. One more like that. The inhale bends, working with the breath now, not just the muscles and the bones. Exhale and stretch that left leg back. Now bring both knees together, and we'll do that same work on the right side. Inhale brings the right leg back, toes tucked under. Good. Now, next in-breath, slightly bend the right knee, just a little bend in it. Exhale, it pulls back. Two more. Inhale, it bends. Exhale, pull that right heel back. Inhale, bend again. And exhale, pulling it back. Okay, now, place both knees next to each other. And let's come on to our, our forearms. Good. Might be helpful to some people to come off of their arms. That's a long time. That might feel kind of good. On an inhale, let's lift the right leg up, back, and up towards the ceiling. Oh, good. There. Now, that was an inhale. As you exhale, bend that knee just slightly in towards your chest, just slightly. Inhale, lengthen that right leg up towards the ceiling. Good. Exhale, bend the knee ever so slightly. One more like that. Inhale, extend, and exhale, bend. And then bring that right knee down, and let's do the left side. On an inhale, lift that left leg back behind you. Exhale, slightly bend it. Inhale, extend. Exhale and bend. Inhale, extend. And exhale, bend. And then bring both knees down and come back up onto your wrists underneath your shoulders. We're going to do a very big movement here. I'm going to ask you to start on your right side, but Sheila's going to do it on her left side. And here's a place where you can come back down onto your forearms as we just did, if this is a little bit too stressful for you. But first thing Sheila is going to do is inhale her right leg back. You do the right leg, Sheila's doing the left. And turn the right heel down onto the floor. Okay. So this is a real big, strong right leg. On an inhale, lift your right arm straight up towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, straighten it over your right ear, finding this nice side angle that we were making in our warm-up, okay? Here where we're stretching and side bending over to one side. Inhale, lift the right arm up towards the ceiling. And with your out breath, stretch it over your right ear. One more simple like that. Inhale up and exhale. Reach through that right heel as the right arm goes up and over your ear. Good. Now let's come back down, arm and leg, and we'll do the other side before we turn to a little bit of a variation of that pose. So on the inhale, bring your left leg back behind you. Turn the left heel down. And with an in-breath, stretch and reach that left arm out to the side and up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, straighten that arm over your left ear. Two more pulses like that. Inhale and exhale. Steady, stable, and strong in your supporting leg. Continue one more breath like that. Up and exhale and down. You're making the legs strong. Muscles and bones are getting strong here. Bring it all the way up and then both hand and knee down. So we're going to do this again, only add on to it to test our strength and stability. Starting with the right leg, inhale it back, turn the heel down, feel the strength in that right heel, and maybe take your left foot and kick it out into a little bit of a kickstand. You can see how Sheila has done that with her bent leg. So that gives it a little bit more strength. The strength is coming from both legs. On an inhale, the right arm goes up. Now here's the big trick. Exhale, bend that arm over the right ear, stretching it out. And on another inhale, we're going to bend our right elbow and bring it to the right knee. So let there be a little bit of a meeting. Oh, there you go. Nice, Sheila. Inhale, stretch it out. And as you exhale, bend the elbow towards the knee. You really have to have a strong, stable, supporting arm and leg. One more like that. Inhale, it comes out. And the exhale, strong and stable, like our immune system, our legs and our muscles. And then coming back down with both the arm and the leg, knees together, and we'll go to the other side. Woo, that was a big one, right, Sheila? That's a strong move. Anyone who wants to try this on their forearm, that's why we did the forearm first, to sort of give you a little bit heads up. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, turn the left heel down to the floor. And then maybe kickstand that right foot out to the side of it. Make that right thigh a little bit stronger. Inhale, the left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, over the ear. Now take one breath in here to get nice and long on that left side. As you exhale, bring the elbow and knee together. Good. 2 more like that. Inhale, the arm extends. Exhale, elbow and knee together. Inhale, extend. And elbow and knee together. Woo! And then slowly, using an in-breath, bring everything down onto the floor. And knees are supported, but we're going to look for our blocks. And we're going to come onto our knees with the blocks underneath our wrists. And we're going to do a little bit of what we call the seesaw. So you can see it looks like Sheila's using double stacked blocks there, which is really good. And she's going to walk her knees a little bit closer, or block the blocks, move the blocks back so her wrists are right underneath her shoulders. Just a little bit more, Sheila. There you go. All right. Oh, see how she has her wrists right underneath her shoulders? Okay. Starting with an in-breath. Take that right leg back behind you. Keep the toes tucked on the floor. And it is the slow, long exhale that brings that right foot right between the blocks. You can see her shin right between the blocks. On an inhale, she's going to come forward with her heart and not let the nose come in front of it. As she exhales, she's going to straighten that right leg as much as possible. No, not the left leg, the right leg. Straighten the right leg. There you go. Okay. Inhale, come forward over that right knee. And the exhale brings you back. Remember, it's the exhale, long, slow exhale, that is going to be using the pumping of our heart. Inhale, coming forward. And keep going. Exhale, bringing the hip back on your own breath. Forward and back on the inhale. And exhale brings it back. The pumping that is happening here in our abdominal area using the breath, using the respiratory system, is helping the lymph system pump lymph all throughout our lower torso. You can use your breath and the movement of bones and muscles to do that for yourself. Now come to neutral, Sheila, where your leg is right there between those blocks. I can see the shin parallel to them. Inhale once here. And as you exhale, bring both knees together. And we'll do the opposite side. The in-breath brings that left leg back. Stretch it, looking forward. The long, slow exhale brings that left foot forward. Inhale, rocking forward. Exhale, pulling the hip back. There you go. Inhale, coming forward. You also could, when you come back on the exhale, maybe put a little round in the back of your spine, just a little roundness there. Inhale comes forward. That feeds all of the lungs full of breath. And as you exhale, the breath is also releasing to pump lymph through the body. Respiratory system, muscular system, skeletal system, everything working together. Last one, come forward, Sheila. And then as you exhale, bring both knees together. Now, we're going to do the opposite side, only this time with 2 legs in straighten. On an inhale, take the right leg back, tuck the toes under. On an exhale, bring that right foot forward. This time, the inhale will lift the right knee. Oh, so now we're really looking forward. Strong legs, both sides. Inhale, come a little further forward over that right knee. And as you slowly exhale, straighten both legs as much as you can. Doesn't have to be completely straight. And using the breath, forward and back. Exhale brings it back. A couple more times on your own. Inhale, it comes forward. Exhale, it cycles back. One more. Inhale forward and exhale, bringing it back. Good. Now, come to neutral with that right thigh. And on an exhale, bring the left knee down and then the right knee to join it. We'll do the other side before I have a little treat for you. On an inhale, take the left leg back. Slow, deep exhale. It comes forward. The in-breath lifts the right knee. And the exhale draws both legs into extension. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, pulling the hips back. A few more on your own breath till you really feel those hip sockets warming up. Part of the immune system is keeping all of our bones lubricated in our sockets, in our joints. If our joints are working, then our immune system is also. We want to be able to move. That's what keeps the cardiovascular system and the lymph system moving. Next time you take an exhale, the next inhale will bring you to neutral and bringing that right knee down onto the floor and both knees together. Okay, on an inhale, take the right leg back. On an exhale, bring it forward. On an inhale, lift the left knee. Now, here we're going to add in a little bit of a dip. So as you inhale, come forward, but let the left knee almost touch the floor. Almost, not completely. Now, inhale and bring it back up again and straighten both legs. Exhale here. Inhale, come forward. Almost touch down with that knee. And the exhale straightens both legs. Another time like that. Inhale, you come forward and almost touch the floor, not quite. And exhale. So a little bit more effort and strength in just doing the almost touch. So the inhale brings you forward where you almost touch, but not quite. And exhale, pulling you back. This time as you come forward on the inhale, and the exhale brings your left knee down onto the floor. Good. And we'll do the opposite side. So bring both knees together. The inhale is going to straighten that left leg back, toes tucked under. The slow exhale brings it between the blocks. The in-breath lifts the right knee. Good. Now, exhale here, get strong. On an inhale, come forward and almost touch with the right knee. Exhale, straighten both legs. Inhale, forward, almost touch. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, forward, almost touch. Exhale, straighten. And last one, inhale, forward. And this time, as you exhale, bring that right knee all the way down to the floor. Good. All right. Bring both knees together. And on an inhale, take the right leg back behind you. On an exhale, slowly bring it forward between the blocks. In-breath lifts the left knee. And here we go. On an exhale, bring that left foot forward between the blocks. And oh, beautiful, Sheila. Heart is looking forward, nose is looking forward, and on an inhale, sweep the arms out and up, coming all the way to stand, and exhale, arms down by your side. And take a moment here. We did a lot of work on those thrustings back and forth. You should be able to place your hand on your heart and feel it pounding just a little bit more. So yoga has also been supporting that cardiovascular system. Now, what we're going to do here is bring our arms out to the side to where we can reach away from the body, turning the palms up towards the ceiling, and inhale, lift the arms straight up towards the sky. As you exhale, bend in the knees and bring your palms down towards the floor and towards your blocks where they just came from. Do they touch the blocks? Well, her fingertips do, almost. Oh, that's pretty good. All right, let's do that again. Turn the palms out, inhale, fly the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, bend in the knees with the heart looking forward. Good. All right, that's the block test. She has her hands fully on the block. Let's do that one more time. The inhale brings you up. That's elongation. And the exhale bends the knees and brings the hands down onto the blocks. And here's where we're going to begin to move into really big movements. On an inhale, take your right leg back behind you. Good. Now, keep the right heel reaching back. And to me, this is the most difficult pose in yoga. On an inhale, sweep the arms out and up towards the ceiling. Ooh, I find this a very difficult move. On an exhale, bring your left hand onto your left thigh, Sheila, keeping the right arm up towards the ceiling. Inhale here, reach back with that right heel and up with the right arm. And as we did in the warm-up, side bend over to the left. Inhale, back up to center. And as you exhale, bring that right hand down onto the left thigh. And with an inhale, sweep that left arm straight out in front of you. And then circle it around to the back, taking a twist. Whoa. Now this, are you feeling stable and strong? Inhale, sweep both arms back, looking forward, both arms straight up towards the ceiling. And a big exhale will bring your hands down onto the blocks. And maybe inhaling one more. Exhale brings that right foot forward between your blocks. Drop your hips, lift your heart. Inhale, fly up towards the ceiling. And exhale, one breath, standing tall. Now, to me, that is the most difficult pose of yoga. A high lunge, where you only have a teeny tiny toe behind you and one foot in front of you. It's a very ambitious pose to do all that twisting and bending from. But you did it. Let's do it on the other side. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. And bending in the knees, exhale, hands onto the blocks. Inhale, take the left leg back behind you. Now get really strong in that left leg. We practiced with that before. What kept it strong? Reaching back with the left heel. Use an in-breath to elevate your lungs, blow them up as your arms come up towards the ceiling. Now, as you exhale, this time the right hand is going to go onto the right thigh. Elongate again, reaching back with the left heel and up with the left arm. Stable and strong. Exhaling to the right, taking a side bend to the right. Inhale back to center. And then as you exhale, what are we going to do? We're going to find a way to make a twist by putting the left hand on the right thigh. Inhale the right arm straight up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, circle it around behind her. Be stable with that left hand on the left thigh. Reach back with the left heel. Inhale, the breath fills the lungs and brings both arms straight forward and up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, both hands on to your blocks. Woo! Inhale, reach through the left heel. And exhale, bring that left foot forward. Drop your hips, lift your heart, circle the arms all the way out and up. And as you exhale, one breath, standing tall in Tadasana. Making the immune system stable and strong means making all the systems in your body
stable and strong. Certainly the cardiovascular system is getting stronger with all this movement and breathing. Well, that was the hardest pose in yoga. Let's do one that seemingly is hard, but is a lot easier. You will experience it this time. On an inhale, sweep the arms out and up. We're going to warrior one. Becoming a warrior is going to be a piece of cake. Bend your knees, exhale, and bring your hands to your blocks. A piece of cake now. Inhale, right leg back. As you exhale, turn the right heel to the floor, 45 degrees. Now you have both feet on the floor. You might want to get rid of your blanket as Sheila did. Both feet on the floor, not just 1.5, but walk your hands up to your left thigh and steady yourself there. Pressing down in that left thigh, inhale and broaden across the collarbones, reach your heart forward. And as you exhale, experience what happens, bringing the navel into the front of your spine. With your next in-breath, reach one arm at a time or both arms up towards the ceiling. Inhale here, and then as you exhale, bring the left hand down onto the left thigh again. We're going to side bend and twist in warrior one. Elongate first, reaching up with the right arm. And exhale, side bending, using the support of that left hand on the left thigh over to the left side. Inhale, back to center. And this is a little trickier, but you're going to bring the right hand down onto the left thigh. So you're really going to have two hands there to get stable. But the left arm goes straight up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, circle it back behind you, taking a twist in warrior one. Good. In breath, let both arms reach up towards the ceiling, stable in your legs, strong in your feet, or stable in your feet and strong in your arms. Exhale, both hands down onto your blocks. Inhale, lifts the right heel, and it's the out breath that slowly brings it forward between your blocks. Drop your hips. Lift your heart, inhale, fly up. And as you exhale, one breath in Tadasana. Now let's move from here to the other side. Arms reach out and up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, deep bend in the knees, hands to blocks. The in-breath brings the left leg back. The out-breath turns that left heel so that both feet are solid on the floor. Stable feet, and then on an in-breath, walk your hands up onto your right thigh so you can feel the strength and stability of the pose from there. And we'll start with the side bend. So we're going to keep the right hand where it is. Inhale, the left arm up. And as you exhale, side bend it over to the right. Inhale it back up to center. And exhale, bring the left hand down onto the right thigh. Circle the right arm up in front of you, and then on the exhale, all the way back behind you. Good. Next in-breath, bring your heart, hips, and arms straight forward up towards the ceiling into a beautiful full expression of warrior one. Use and find the out breath to slowly bring the arms down onto your blocks. And in breath will lift the left heel, and it's the out breath that brings it forward. Good. Drop your hips, lift your heart. Inhale, flying all the way up. And exhale. Let's take one breath in Tadasana. Good. All right. From here, we're going to go into, has everybody had enough standing poses, or are you ready for a couple more? Let's do it. Okay, onward. Thank you, Sheila. We're going to move through a couple of standing balances, which are a little bit trickier. And what I would like to do is have Sheila think that she can do this with the sideways. Yes, that's good. But bring your blocks with you. Good. We're going to do a standing one-legged balance, okay? So Sheila, step a little closer to your blocks on the left side. There you go. All right. Now, bring your left knee in towards your chest and hold on underneath the left thigh. So most everybody can do this. If you can't, maybe you have a belt or a scarf that you can hold on to that left thigh with. And if it gets a little, now we're going for strength and stability. So if you get a little wobbly, don't worry about it. Sheila, if she gets a little wobbly and wants to put her left foot on the left block, it's right there and she could do that, right? Okay, so what we're gonna do is work with the breath and that standing, balancing right leg. On an inhale, Sheila's gonna put a little bend in the right knee. And on the exhale, she's going to straighten her right leg and her left leg. Good. Inhale, bend both slightly again. That's it. And the exhale, that's your power tool. That's the hydraulics that allow you to straighten both legs. Inhale, bend, and exhale, straighten. And if you need to support that foot on the block, it's there. Wobbling is a good thing. That means the muscles are working. One more like that. Inhale, bend, and exhale, straighten both legs. Ooh, good. Okay, let's bring that leg down and do the opposite. Strength and stability. We want to be stable in our balance, because a balanced body is a harmonious body, and a harmonious body is in a harmonious immune system. Lift that right leg up. And if it needs the block, use it. If not, an inhale puts a little bend in the left leg, and the exhale, hydraulics of the exhale, straightens the left leg and right at the same time. Let's do that pulsing, inhaling, bend, exhale and straighten. So what we don't want to do, so continue on your own like that. What we don't want to do is to hold a pose and stop breathing. So moving in the pose not only strengthens our bones and muscles, works the cardiovascular system, but it also builds balance. And a strong immune system is strong in all departments. Good. All right, now let's bring both legs down. And Sheila, this time I'm going to ask you to stand sideways. And we're going to do the opposite of bringing a leg into your chest. We're going to do a bit of dancer pose. So you also might want a scarf. But what she's going to do is start on her left side, right side. Bend your right knee and reach back and see if you can, oh, I'm sorry, that's your, okay, go ahead. Would you switch sides? There you, yeah, good. There you go. Okay, so she's gonna bend that right leg and reach back and see if she can hold on to her right foot. Maybe Sheila, you could show if you have a belt there, if you demonstrate and turn the opposite side so that if somebody wants to, if it's not possible to, yeah, so there she has, because if you can't reach your ankle, you could always use a strap like this. Okay, good. Now, we're going to work once again. We're not just going to stand here. We're going to inhale and bend the standing leg and reach the opposite arm up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, straighten the standing leg and maybe tip that arm slightly forward. Good. Inhale, bend and stand up. Exhale, straighten. Use the hydraulics and slightly come forward. Inhale, bend, up, and exhale, strong standing leg as you slightly fold forward. And then let's release that and go to the other side. Thank you, Sheila. That was a great demonstration. All right, so again, the standing leg If you bring the leg up over your shoulder, or why don't you, this time, can you do it without using the strap? Can you do it with your hand? Okay, see, Sheila has good reach, good open psoas, so she can get that. Now, she's going to put a little bend in her standing leg, inhaling the arm up. And then as she exhales, she straightens that standing leg and dips a little bit forward, takes a little bit of a forward fold. Inhale, bend, and exhale, folding forward. We have so many immune systems going on here. We have the cardiovascular system, we have the breath moving lymph, and we are using our strong muscular system to create balance and bone density. As more she works this pose, the more she is moving those muscles, sucking into her bones and building bone density. And then Sheila, release all of that, come back with your blocks placed so that we can go stepping back down to the floor. Standing between the blocks. On an inhale, sweep the arms out and up. And on an exhale, bend the knees and place the hands on the blocks. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, right knee to the floor. Inhale here and exhale, both knees together. And then walking yourself over to one side to come to sit. And sitting, I'm going to demonstrate this here too, because I just really dearly love this pose, and why shouldn't I get in on some of the fun? So what you're going to do from sit is bend your knees and I'm sorry, I'm having cramps in my legs. Sheila, will you do this, please? Bend your knees, placing your feet on the floor. Knees pretty far apart. And begin to windshield wiper your knees from side to side. There you go. And this is, I love this pose, but I got cramps in my legs from, I've been sitting in Virasana for about 40 minutes now, sitting with my knees. And so when I went to try and bend them, open them up, I just cramped in my calves like you couldn't believe. That's happened to everybody, hasn't it? I guess it's my, all right. So what I'm going to do now is, my cramping has stopped. Let's hope it doesn't come back. And just, I call these windshield wipering the legs from side to side. And it feels so good to open up the chest and just sort of reaching from side to side. In addition to having cramping thighs and cramping calves, I have very stiff hips. So this is a wonderful go-to place for someone with stiff hips like mine. Okay, now everybody take both knees over to the right side. And I scoot back here just a little bit so you can see. So both of my knees are to the right side. Take your right foot and let it rest on your left thigh. So I have a deep bend in the left leg and the right leg. I find that most, even though it looks ambitious, that most people are really quite able to do that. On an inhale, hold on to your left ankle, bring your right arm up, And let that stabilize you to side bend over to the left. Inhale back to center and exhaling, twisting to the right. Okay. Inhale back to center, side bend to the left. Inhale back to center and twisting to the right. Now, what we're doing here is an ambitious wringing out of our abdominal organs. But let's do that one more time. Part of the immune system. Inhale, lifting it up. Exhale, I'm side bending and I'm squeezing all of those abdominal muscles. Inhale back to center and the twist. Around an upright spine is a beautiful thing. And coming back, straighten out your legs. Coming back into our windshield wipers, windshield them just a little bit more. And then coming over to the left side. On the left side, your left foot gets anchored into the right thigh. The right hand stabilizes this whole figure. And I hold on to my right ankle. Inhale the left arm straight up towards the ceiling. And then side bending. Really taking a deep bend around all of those abdominal organs. And then as you exhale, twisting around the upright spine to the left. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, center. Exhale to the twist. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist. And then take both legs out in front of you and come onto your backs, supine. You might want to come supine by going to the side and stretching out and then rolling over onto your back. Or you can also do the walk back way to get onto your spine. Now, with the knees bent, let's do a couple of things here before we come to our final restorative pose. Draw your knees in towards your chest. And as you inhale, pull the knees in. As you exhale, flatten the lower spine into the floor. So that should feel really nice on your lower spine. And it stabilizes the whole spine. And of course, we know that the spine is the highway of our whole body. We want to keep it strong and healthy. So the inhale arches up and the exhale lowers the belly towards the floor. Inhale a little cat, exhale a little cow. And then slowly lower your feet down onto the floor and encourage a little self-massage of the thighs, just moving the skin delicately towards the center of your body. And then bring your knees in towards your chest. Let the knees be parallel to the floor and your arms kind of at a wedge, so they make a V with your body. On an inhale, I suction cup my hands into the floor and lift my chest a little bit. As I exhale, I bring the knees over to one side, just a tiny bit, not a lot, because we're working with the breath here and the abdominal organs. So it's not about getting to the floor. It's about inhaling to center and exhaling just a little bit to the opposite side. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist a little bit more. Now we're going to do, just keep doing that. Exhaling on as you twist to one side or the other. Some of you might be ambitious and you want to start with your legs elongated up towards the ceiling. So we inhale here. Use your hands. Exhale. Bring both legs just slightly. Inhale, coming center. Exhale. What we want to do is feel the exhale. It's not where the legs go, it's what's happening in the abdominal area where all of your abdominal organs are. That's where you want to feel the exhale happening. And then come back to center, and what we're going to do here is bend our knees and hold on either to your ankles or to your feet into, everybody knows happy baby pose, all right? And then bring your feet together if you can. I barely can. Maybe now is a good time to look at Sheila, because I'm sure Sheila can bring her feet together in Baddha Konasana on her back. So supine Baddha Konasana. Good. And then from here, we're going to just do a little rocking back and forth because we're getting ready for our final restorative pose, which is the queen of all restorative poses. So she's going to rock from side to side. Inhale, bringing her to center, and the exhale to one side or the other. And then bringing your knees together in the front of your chest, feet to the floor, and then roll to one side and come up to sit. And Sheila is going to show us how we're getting ready for our final resting pose. So what she was doing there with her feet together is cobbler's pose. And now we're going to do cobbler's pose in its fullest expression. She is taking her bolster. Now she's using a bolster. She could prop the bolster up on two blocks to make it a little higher towards the back. That's sometimes nice to have that little incline there. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. I think everybody can see that. Good, thank you, Sheila. And she's going to find a blanket, maybe have a blanket close by so that she could prop up under her neck if she needs it. So you can use any kind of cushion you have in the house, any kind of blanket. You could even use tin cans as blocks and bring your incline up just a little bit. But first, make sure that you can see where Sheila is sitting. She is not sitting on her cushion. She is not sitting on her bolster. She has space there, and it is only that the bolster of the cushion comes right up to her lower spine. And then she might want to turn sideways or walk her to get herself down onto her bolster. And then roll over it. And she's going to reach for her blanket and put it right underneath her neck. And your two blocks, Sheila, you have them still close at hand? Good, they're ready. All right. So she's going to bring the soles of her feet together like we were doing in our other pose, Supta Baddha Konasana supine. Soles of the feet together, knees apart, and then balancing those legs, balancing the thighs on the blocks. Now this is a pretty wonderful pose, but it isn't complete unless we also give a little attention to where our arms are. So if you can see Sheila's arms, they should be reaching out away from her body. And do this very slowly on yourself. If you're already positioned, just turn your palms down towards the floor and then real slow, turn the palms up towards the ceiling so that the back of the hands are resting on the floor. And feel what happens in your back body. Feel how the shoulder blades on your back come together when you do that very simple little movement.
And now let's go back to taming that mind, taming the mind to calm the nervous system. Certainly, from here, we can recognize that our body has become better integrated, I would like to think, not only in terms of muscles and joints, but it is also internally become better balanced. The movement of our breath in and out, the movement of our muscles in and out, the movement of our bones up and down has supported and given stimulation to every single system in your body. And as a restorative pose, we are taught that here we don't need to do the effort of yoga because the props and gravity are doing the yoga movement for us. But your job in a restorative pose is to quiet the mind. Keep your mind quiet by starting with your breath. As we began class, just saying each time you inhale and exhale, saying to yourself, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. You're welcome to stay here or fully extend into a classic Shavasana. I'm going to suggest, if you are comfortable, that you stay here to enjoy the work of nature's gravity to bring your body into balance. Research shows that a balanced, harmonious body and mind create a stable and strong immune system. And when it comes to cancer, how we heal ourselves starts with taming the mind. It is the first responder of the immune system. The more you are able to quiet a restless mind so that you can hear your body, hear the rhythms of your body, the rhythm of your breath. By quieting the mind, you invite peace into your body. And the more peaceful your body, the more healing it will take in. The remarkable job of our immune system to help keep us safe is matched by the remarkable job of yoga to bring peace and quietness to our body and mind. I welcome you to our class today. I invite you to stay strong and steady in your breath and in your mind. Oming with me now there in your home. Inhale. Thank you for joining us at Yoga for Cancer. You can find all of our videos and classes online. And I'll see you again next week on Monday at 2 o'clock with another message. Namaste.